No food, no drinks.
They're my kitty cat socks.
No slurping.
Probably the first time when we actually do not drink or eat anything. This time for real.
Yes.
Not me just saying that, oh, it's the first one we're not eating anything and
then
in the next shot you're eating or drinking. So
yeah, we're gonna do this quick and then
why we're gonna do this quick? So I don't see you all day, right?
What I'm trying to say is we're gonna do this and then get our dinner.
Right, so that's a pre-dinner conversation.
Yeah.
You just gave away that we haven't ate anything.
Yeah.
But
you might hear rumbling.
So I'll wait for you all day, yeah?
Yeah.
Just to sit down, have a conversation with you, and you tell me that we're gonna do this quick.
No, that's not what I meant. I explained you what I meant. We're gonna do this quick and get our dinner.
So still you
meaning
carrying
that
on with quick.
We're not gonna rush this conversation through, but we're gonna get dinner after. So my wording wasn't exactly right.
Right. My trampy knee is healing.
My trampy elbow is healing.
Takes time, right?
Fucking hell, yeah, a lot. A lot, and it's leaving dark marks. I don't know. I don't know. Spiders are dangerous.
Nothing you can do, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn today not to disturb spiders home.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Leave them alone, people. And you're gonna learn the day not to drive with a bike on wet leaves.
Yeah, in high speeds, Jesus. But I suppose it happens. Experience, right?
Yeah.
I know you said you have some sort of thingy you wanna chat with me
Oh
about
yeah,
today.
I've prepared. I've got notes and all that. It's not a lot.
You wrote your thoughts down or points, what you wanted
Just
to
points, basically.
chat with me?
I was driving.
I'm gonna give you a steering wheel today. You can be a main host today if you want.
Hello, welcome to the show.
I don't want to pretend that I'm having a good day. I'm not having a good day.
Yeah,
I'm
I
lying.
can see that.
It's not that I'm not having a good day. It's a nice normal day, but it's one of those days, you know, where you just have shitty destructive thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? It's something like that. Like, no one gives a fuck. I might just have a conversation with you
without saying no.
while I'm eating.
Yeah.
While we're eating. I don't fucking need this. And then another part of me goes, yeah, but maybe you're creating some value for people, and you know, you have that battle with good and bad. Yeah, but how do you create the value to people if no one's fucking watching and no one gives a fuck? And it's like, and you try to fight good with bad, and then at the end of the day, you left with a bit of this.
Yeah.
But I suppose you take that, you learn, and then you move on.
That's a perfect example of another thing I was thinking this morning while driving.
Give it to me, baby.
When I drive, sometimes I listen to a podcast, sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I drive in quiet.
Yeah.
And when I drive in quiet, I let my mind take over and think of things. So I was thinking like, what we could talk about. And one of the thoughts popped up is the emotions that we feel and how people feel sadness or a weird, like a down emotion.
Yeah.
And they all of a sudden,
like me today.
Yeah, call it, I'm depressed. And they think that these states that you might be in are okay. That, you'll just have one of those days where you'll not feel...
Wait, you got me confused. They think that those stages are okay? Or
no,
you're trying to say that these stages are okay, it has nothing to do with depression?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay.
Did I say it wrong?
Yes.
Sorry. So so people mix things mix their emotions, thinking that happy is the only emotion that is good.
You're not allowed yourself to feel more
because well, you have to be happy. That's the good state.
Yeah.
And being upset, being sad, being overwhelmed, being tired is the bad emotions, and you're not supposed to feel them. Whereas emotion is an emotion. It's a state. It's not a prediction of your future. It's not your what's the name? What's the word I want to say? It's not defining you. It's basically just an emotion to be felt, analyzed, and taken in. So you feel down today. That's good. So why do you can then think, oh, why do I feel down? What's making me feel down?
That's what I've been doing today, to be honest.
So sometimes it's simple shit like you're just tired. You know.
There might be that donut that we ate last night, you know, fucking up my hormone balance.
Oh yeah. Food.
All the
food
shitty
can
fats
get you down because everything's in the gut, and if you eat shit, you might not feel.
To a degree,
best.
We are blessed that you are in tune with your body. So when stuff like that comes along, you kind of, I don't know, probably a bad word to predict, but you kind of get a gist from where that is coming, and that's what I'm having today. That'll be probably a bit of everything, poor sleep. Even though I can't say I feel like we slept well last night, but I think maybe just all in all, stuff combined together, we ate a bit of crappy food over the weekend. We went for a walk last night, had a coffee and a donut, and then all these things affect you. It's not necessarily one thing.
Yeah, it might be that you're just overwhelmed with things. It might be you have other things on your mind and your mind's racing, and that's, you just need to have a step back. So I think in those days where you feel these destructive thoughts, and you are well, in your case, it will be the inner fight that dragged you down. So when you are having that inner fight and you're not feeling uplifted or euphorious, it's important to
euphorious.
Yeah, it's important to stay calm and stay kind to yourself, as if you were your friend. So if your friend came to you and they said, oh, I'm having these thoughts, I don't know why I'm doing this, and I'm very upset and I'm feeling down, what would you say to that friend? You wouldn't say, yeah, you can't. You wouldn't just bash them down.
Depends which friend.
No, but I mean, if they are your friend.
I
you're watching my microphone. Is it okay?
Fine. I agree with you, and I know what you mean.
So
you wouldn't talk to anyone else the way you sort of bring yourself down. And so it's that's important. That's where it comes. You are your own worst enemy.
It's important to be kind to yourself on those days and actually step back, take care of yourself, give yourself a hug, high five, whatever, pat yourself on the back, and wait for another day.
Tomorrow is never promised, right? So the way it works in my head, that might be a reason why you're fighting good with bad, and then at the end of the day you feel sort of like tormented. Going back to being your own worst enemy, I think I am my own worst enemy, because even though you understand yourself, you still sort of like bash yourself with all this that fucking snap out of it, and like what do you have to be, I don't know, sad or upset about it, and that makes you pissed off with yourself. It's
It's a battle. It's a curve, isn't it? Where you get pissed off because you're pissed off, and it's just constant.
I suppose what I'm trying to say, I could sit here, pretend that everything is honky-dory. They were saying Russell Howard today, trying to explain to Greta Thunberg what's honky-dory in England. And just be a happy Larry and lie, right?
Be a sad clown.
Yeah, I'm a sad clown. I'm sad within, but it has to look happy outside, right? But no, I'm just being honest. Like, I don't feel like it today. It's very poor description of saying I had a bad day today. It's not a bad day, but like everybody else, just shit came along. You know, you had those. It's probably that day when you have destructive thoughts.
Yeah.
And today is one of them days. I could say I don't know the reason why, but I suspect why. But that just shows that I'm a human being, and we all have exactly the same emotions that we going through from time to time, and it depends how you deal with it. So, all right, I had a battle with good and bad thoughts today in my head. And on some days, I don't want to do anything while that's happening, and it's not wrong.
Yeah.
Suppose whatever works for you. But for me personally, anytime shit like that happen, when I sit down and literally do nothing, I don't know, watch fucking Netflix all day, right? Feel sorry for myself. It just makes it worse.
Yeah.
For me. So I suppose that battle for me between good and bad thoughts needs to end up somewhere in a middle. So you find a harmony, if you wish. So you can still not, for argument's sake, let's call it not have a great day, but can carry on with whatever.
Being productive.
With your tasks and stuff that you're supposed to do, which I tried to do today. And still, because I'm having one of those days, when you do something, when you did something, at the end of the day, that bat comes in and he goes like, well, that was shit.
Yeah.
Like, you did fuck all, mate.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, but I blah, blah, blah. And so.
Sometimes I find that when I have these destructive thoughts, I let them talk, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I try to listen as well. For myself.
I'm like, I'm not fighting them. I'm not fighting them. They're just like, yeah, go on, give me your worst, and that's it. But I'm not listening to them. It's weird because I'm talking about my own head, but I know.
That's how we sound as supposed to.
But you know where
those three people like this.
Thank you so much. But you know where you get all these down thoughts and you bash yourself. Sometimes I get them in gym and I feel like, but yeah, I just let them talk. I just let them through my head. That's fine. It can be in the background, but I just carry on, do what I came to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that helps. Sometimes changing what I'm doing, or changing, I don't know, the way I'm dressed, the way I having a shower, putting makeup on, that helps. Sometimes snapping into gratitude helps. So just thanking for the day, because it's the only day that matters.
That's my mistake, which I have done today. I haven't filled in my book.
There you go. See?
You just said that, and I realized that I haven't done your gratitude exercise, and so see, you missed one thing,
and everything falls apart.
from there, and then you end up with whatever you end up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising how. And I actually tried this. I heard this, that grateful heart can be.
Can't or can?
Can't.
Okay.
Unhappy.
Yeah.
Whenever you're in a state of gratitude, you're in a state of happiness. And you can't be
grateful and sad, right?
Yeah.
Or angry.
Yeah, the brain doesn't work other way. If you're
I'm so fucking grateful.
No, but yeah, if you just think of thank yous, of how you appreciate things, but truthfully, obviously.
Yes.
It just fills up your heart. It fills your mind with happiness. Same thing with posture. You can't smile and physically, you have to lift up, you have to put a smile on, and then your brain starts to think you're happy. Yeah. So
it's a happy state.
When you're slouched up and like that, you can get into unhappy state. So do try and straighten your back and put a smile on.
Yeah.
And there you go. It doesn't always work. As I say, for me, it's not one answer to all, but that's how I deal with my destructive thoughts. Sometimes this works, sometimes that works.
So what do you find, what's your...
So 3...
Out of them 3,
yeah.
Right? Is there a balance of all of them 3 at one given time? Or do you use one at, let's say, I don't know, you might use one coping mechanism today, the next one that you haven't described tomorrow, and then the day after, or is it mix and match?
8 times out of 10 gratitude works.
Right.
Because I just sort of step out of myself and say, right, you've got this to be grateful for, you've got so much, you achieved so much, you're so great, and I start to compliment myself, I start to be thankful of what I've got, what I achieved in life per se. So that works most of the time. But sometimes that's not enough. I have to let the thoughts through me and feel them out, and then work through love and happiness, love and gratefulness, and then it works. Sometimes you have to have a nap. And that works.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have a nap. How do you do that at work?
I don't do naps at work. Once, I think, during my lunchtime, I went to the car, but I was really poorly.
Tired.
Yeah, really poorly. I went to the car and had a half an hour.
Yeah, but you don't do that whilst in the middle of the work, right?
No, that would be impossible, I would say. But some would argue.
I'm sure they would. I'm sure some would, yeah. I have no doubts about it.
I forgot. How are we on time?
It's all right.
Sorry.
I'll tell you time. You don't need to monitor time. I will monitor time. I'm
You're the
timekeeper.
Timekeeper.
Yes.
Okay. I remembered something and I forgot now.
Haven't you?
That's about fears and everything, but I remembered something else. But never mind.
Was it why? Was it to do with emotions?
No, something you said prompted me, but we carried on and I forgot. So it wasn't a lie. No. So anyway, that was one of the thoughts that I had. It was about the emotions, about how we not feeling them through and mix them up, that there's only good and bad emotions. Hello.
Yeah.
Babas. So anyway, another thing was fears.
All right.
That I was thinking of, and how there are different things we fear and we get paralyzed by it.
Elaborate.
So like we fear of rejection.
Yes.
And therefore we don't pursue things in life because we fear
things as in anything, or you mean like relationships?
Relationship, anything
Job.
Really. Job, yeah. Pay rise. Anything in life that you would need to ask for because you fear rejection.
Yeah.
You anticipate in advance that you will be rejected, or you don't want to hear the word no, and you don't pursue something.
So you create yourself a future that's not happened yet, based
Yeah.
on your perception.
A lot of the times
That-
fear is the anticipation of something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's premeditated thing.
Yeah, so you try to predict something that's not yet happened,
Yeah.
but you premeditated that
Yeah.
this is how it's going to be, even though you could not possibly know
And
how.
I mean, what does it matter if you are rejected?
You can always hear so many no's before you hear a yes, right?
Exactly. So
I suppose it's having tough skin. Like not everybody is
what I
the
like,
same.
yeah, what I liked from one of the many podcasts I listened to, I can't remember who said it, but it's not about getting rejected. It's collecting the no's until you get a yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
see how many no's you can get until you get a
Get the
yes. So that rejection is not the end of the world, is it? Somebody just, you don't take it personally, shake it off, move on.
But I suppose it's understanding that this is not a personal thing, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to understand that this is not something personal, right? That your no might, depends what it is, might be, I don't know, relationship, job offers or whatever. Those no's not necessarily might be because you're not good enough of something, right?
And I mean, you might not be good enough for what you asked for,
Yeah.
per se, but you're plenty for something else. And
Yeah.
that no is not a closed opportunity, it's an open opportunity for something else.
Yeah. I suppose this falls into category of what I was listening today, like quick listens on YouTube, while I'm eating. And remember we used to follow Mark also. I think we still subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's a quite smart, I don't know, call it a businessman, entrepreneur, personal trainer. So he's in fitness industry. He now moved to live to Dubai with his wife.
Yeah.
And long story short, he was talking about confidence. So this probably in my head falls within the fear category.
Yeah.
When people lack confidence, and it made a lot of sense to me, it's not due to because they just wired that way and I'm not confident, and it's just because you do not feel confident in something that you lack skill for.
Exactly.
And that's where whatever that might be, forming relationship, getting a job, going for interviews, speaking publicly, anything.
Yeah.
Anything you want, the confidence lack or the lack of it comes from not having a skill to do that particular thing. And then that's when your fear kicks in. Oh, I'm not this. I'm not. Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that confidence is a skill.
Yes.
You will never be confident in something you've never done, right?
So it's a skill.
But
You
if
have
you
to build it.
Yeah. So to me, I got a lot of training in confidence through karate.
Yeah.
Because you get into a new thing, you learn something, you practice it, and then you perform it, and then you get either a reward or a lesson.
Yeah.
And that's how it happens in life, is you train yourself. And it's it's not that you can be confident in one thing and it's a transparent skill per se. So you learn to adapt it to other parts in life.
To other things in your life, right? So it's not just you are now skilled in certain level of karate or martial arts, and that's it. That's the only thing you're confident in. It's sort of like
no, yeah. So I know I might not have the knowledge of skill of a thing I'm about to perform, but I have the confidence in me that I'll give my best to it and I'll get some sort of outcome.
Yeah, anytime I'm in that type of sort of like thought process or situation where my mind is in a spiral and oh, you're not good enough for this, you're not good. I always try to remember what Tom Bilyeu says, and I quite like it. I don't know how to do this yet.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't know, when sometimes I get like with work or whatever, I go like, I don't know what is it, I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But it's that I don't know how to do it yet. And that he's saying that the human being is the ultimate learning machine. Adaptation machine. Yeah.
He says it every time, but it's so true that you can, whatever you apply yourself to, the more you practice, the more confident you'll get. But that confidence builds in. So like starting something new, like training, you get little wins, you get little celebrations of what you achieved, and you build that confidence up and you transfer it to life as well. So everything's very transferable skill.
So I really like that saying that human being is an ultimate adaptation machine. So if you apply yourself to anything, and you can learn it, it's just a matter of how bad do you want to learn, or how bad do you need it.
Another thing that stops us often is the fear of failure, and that intertwines again with being the ultimate adaptation machine. Because what does it matter if you fail? Like, it's just, again, from Tom Bilyeu, he's great. If you don't listen to him, listen to him. But yeah, he put an example about AI, that a computer it just collects data points.
Yes.
So any failure is a data point of how not to achieve something.
Yes.
So if you go by with that attitude where like, okay, I failed, that doesn't matter. You just found out how not to do that. You can try again and see how not to do this.
For whatever reason, us as human beings, we tend to beat ourselves down, right? Consider ourselves a failure because
I think because we are more in a state of what's the word? Gratitude. Delayed and the opposite. Delayed gratitude, and the opposite would be
shit.
I know. Instant gratitude.
What are you trying?
Instant gratification is that. I think because we're in a state of practicing more instant gratification
or instant reward.
Instant reward, that's the word. We want our first try to be successful.
Yeah.
But that's very often not the case. You will have to try 10, if not 100 times before you build something or succeed.
What's that saying goes? The master failed more times than the student even tried?
Yeah,
something like that?
Yeah, something like that. So the fear of failure is something that stops us. But if we change our perception about failure, we change the fear.
Which it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense? Comment below. The 3 people that watch this, please comment. Please write a comment.
You want to write a comment back, right?
Yeah. I want to try if I can.
You want to have a chat with someone in the comment section?
Please do. Yeah. Another fear is what I found very interesting is fear of selling.
What do you mean?
Fear of selling yourself or your service.
Explain that, because it can be taken in the wrong way. We live in a 21st century.
Not as in prostituting yourself.
You're not talking about sex work.
No. It's fear of selling yourself in terms of fear of
your skill,
hyping yourself up. Yeah.
Right.
So you don't want to call somebody to offer your services. You don't want to go to your boss and ask for a pay rise because you just don't feel good enough for that.
Right.
So that's a weird one, and I think I've got that to some extent, because when you find it difficult to accept compliments, that is to some extent fear of selling yourself.
Yeah, because you don't value yourself for what others see you, I suppose. Yeah. And then, yeah.
And
I know what
the
you mean.
book that I'm reading, it was talking about
which book are you reading?
Running with the Wolves.
Okay.
Women Who Run with the Wolves. It's a fantastic book. I recommend it to everybody, not only women. But it basically takes a fairy tale and goes through archetypes of psyche, how we deal with things and how it's in the fairy tales or the life examples. So at the moment I'm reading about Ugly Duckling.
Okay.
And Ugly Duckling is an exile in his family because he was different. So he was expelled from his own family, from the duckling family, and he had to go through a lot of tough periods where he was during winter, he didn't go away anywhere, so he got frozen on the lake, and we know the story. So anyway, and when you are exiled from your family, you struggle to then find somewhere else where you're accepted, because for a long period of time you've been the black sheep, you've been the different one, and when you are actually found by the swans, you still feel, but I'm the ugly duckling. So that sort of gave me a realization.
Feel like you belong, right?
Yeah, that you didn't feel like you belong, and when you actually find somewhere where you do, you still have that fear of maybe I'm not where I'm supposed to because I'm the ugly duckling and I'm not the swan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, and that's where it comes in, where you struggle to accept compliments because you're not used to them. You don't think that you deserve them. You don't think that you're good enough for them. So it's only been like recent years that I've actively tried to, where you hear a compliment, somebody compliments you on your work, on your appearance or whatever. I used to really cringe inside and shy away, and you try to answer saying, I'm not that pretty, or there are better workers than me, and blah blah. Now my answer's changed to that. I'd say thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, I used to do the same.
But not taking in the compliments. It is part of fear of selling your service, basically.
Yeah, not feeling like you.
Not feeling
belong,
like you're good enough
to be able to receive this.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And I remember now what prompted me previously.
Go on then.
So that's another thing I was thinking on my drive to work. I think. I don't know if I was told this before. I was in a state of being grateful of I'm so lucky, I've got this job, I've got you, I'm so lucky. And then I'm like, lucky? I fucking worked hard for everything I've got. I mean, yeah, I got lucky that I got you to some extent, but I attracted you in my life, right?
Yeah, with witchcraft.
Yeah, actually, that's true story. Comment below if you want to know the wizardry. But yeah, anyway, and I felt like I'm not lucky. I'm actually a hard worker, and everything that I've got, I achieved through hard work, through my hard will, strong will, persistence. Yeah, and I was driving and I was like hyping myself up. I was patting on the back so strong. I was like,
who's the bitch?
Yeah. Yeah, because I thought, oh, you know, like in sports, during all the competitions, I thought, oh, I was so lucky to be in the selection, in the national selection, in the national team. But
That's
I was like,
the word, correct? Selection, yeah. National team, you mean?
Yeah. Okay, cut it out. Anyway, but then I thought, what the fuck? I worked harder than half of those motherfuckers.
That's why you made.
That's why I made it to there. I was really yeah, I may not had the talent to be a fighter, but nobody could outwork me.
You've been one for years.
Yeah, but because I worked hard. I was really, really working horse. And I would go back home from my training. I would almost collapse from fainting or, you know, from all the training that I've done. But that's what made me into the
You collapsed
team.
Not from fainting. You might almost collapse from exhaustion.
Exhaustion, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
My studies in medicine, I didn't get lucky to get good grades. I worked hard. I was made to work hard, you know, at school, and I got in there.
Yeah.
My work here, I didn't get lucky to get it. I went after it.
That's how you get things in life, right?
So,
it's
yeah.
Not
and
that it's on a silver platter for you here.
Yeah.
We want you to have these nice things.
So I want you to really think hard, not to, I mean, yeah, to extent you have to be grateful for all the opportunities that came about, but really give yourself a pat on the back, because wherever you are now in your life, you made it. Yeah, so that was one of the hypes up, and I think that was where I thought I should be getting these compliments.
Yeah.
Not in an entitled sense of way, like, oh yeah, praise me, but yeah, if people say I'm good, that means I'm fucking good.
I agree with you. Can't argue with that one.
Yeah, so that was one of the driving thoughts.
So she thinks.
Yeah, I do
she
think.
drives, as you can see.
And another type of fear, which again, when I heard it, it struck me, because we sometimes do fear the success.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's because the success would change your life that much into unknown.
So you
that
fear
it.
You don't know whether you are ready for that. That comes out as fear. Like, ooh.
Yeah. So you don't do something, and you don't realize it. I think that you fear it, but you don't do something because
it's subconscious, right?
Yeah, because you subconsciously know that it's gonna work out, and it's gonna change your life. Things will be different, but that's all in the subconscious, and
it's not a deliberate thought that you sat there thinking.
Yeah, that I'm gonna get this bonus or whatever. Yeah, so that's another to watch out for, I think, and not to let paralyze you.
Dropping bombs of wisdom.
I know.
Tonight.
I should drive around in quiet for.
Try that more often.
Yeah, and have a dictaphone or voice recorder.
What's wrong with you tonight?
Don't make me look stupid. I'm not stupid. But yeah, I have to do a recorder and we'll have a recorder and drive around in silence more often. It's the drive to the seaside place, you know, Redcar and
maybe over
Gisborough.
the sea, yeah.
It's not. It's the views. It's the greenery. It's all that opens up, and I like.
Opens up your mind, right?
Yeah, yeah. I get into this wisdom mode. But yeah, there was some random thoughts that. Well, the book had inspired some thoughts, and then I thought I would share it with you.
That's nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't have any comments, if I'm honest, for tonight. It's one of those where, you know, you beat yourself up that you don't feel chatty today, but then you try not to beat yourself up because you're not chatty today. It's chasing a white rabbit thing.
No, that's. I mean, I suppose as we spoke, on days like that, I need to hold space for you.
Yeah, true.
You need to not be a dick.
I don't think I have.
No, I'm just saying. You know, sometimes when you feel sad and somebody just like annoys you with their happiness or whatever, and you just want to say to the world, fuck off. But yeah, no, that's one of those days. I accept you. I accept your emotions.
Yeah.
And I'm here for you. I'll make you a drink and get you dinner.
Make me a drink.
A hot beverage.
How do you know I want a hot beverage?
I can see it in your eyes.
See it in my eyes?
Yeah.
No, maybe I want, I don't know, whiskey on the rocks. Whatever.
You don't.
How do you know? I like it.
I can get you whiskey on the rocks if you want, but you look like...
A hot beverage.
You look like a tea.
All right.
Okay, so it's a short one today, but I hope you enjoyed it.
It's not that short. It's more than half an hour.
Well, you'll cut a lot of my nonsense out. You'll have to.
I leave for people to understand that even though you're smart, sometimes you get a short circuit that sort of like, I'm smart actually.
Again, give me credit.
I always give you credit.
English is not my first language.
Yes,
all right.
Neither is mine.
Exactly. So, ow.
Have that.
So, hey, okay. I don't think I speak that bad.
That was one of my destructive thoughts today.
What?
We're thinking, fuck, am I doing this? Like, no one gives a fuck. Nobody's watching this. And like two foreigners blabbing something in their second language.
Yeah.
That was that destructive part. That.
Okay, calm down, mate. Calm down.
With all the.
Yeah, but I suppose we're stepping out of our comfort zone, and we hopefully inspire others to step out of that discomfort. Step out of the comfort. No, but like there's a lot of Lithuanians that live in England that don't speak English because they fear to be...
You mean they don't speak English because they don't know how, or they
fear to be
they do not step
ridiculed.
out of their comfort zone to be able to speak the language that they know and understand of how they're gonna sound, what accent they're gonna get, what the will they speak grammatically well? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I think a lot of people that live here, they know the basics, but because they don't use the language, they don't improve. And they don't use the language because they fear to be laughed at, because they will have an accent, or they will have, they will say stupid words like I just did, you know. But
yeah, but if you want to get more confident and a skill,
you have to
this is a skill, you have to practice that skill to be better at it.
Exactly, and
that's one of the reasons why, you know, when the first time I came here, it was never ever my aim to get mixed with Lithuanian community, and I'm not saying that something bad about it. It was just my personal preference, because I wanted since day one to become better in the language that I like, to understand the community in which you live, to understand the country, their way of living.
Yeah.
Because
experience
I know
the culture.
Experience the culture, because I know how Lithuanian lifestyle goes, and what we eat, and how we go about, what our jokes are, and all that.
Yeah.
So I have not traveled 2,000 miles to live in Lithuania, but away from Lithuania.
Yeah.
That just didn't make sense, and still does not make sense to this day for me.
Yeah.
But I have nothing against the Lithuanians and their communities, though I do encourage, if your goal is to learn and to evolve, let's say in speaking better English, or understanding English language better, or understanding those who speak in English better.
Yeah.
Expose yourself to the thing if you want to get better at it. If you're just gonna reserve yourself to Lithuanians and that community, you will not get better.
No, that's true. And I think that's a comfort zone you need to step out. If you want to learn English, you have to speak English. You have to. There's no other way, is there? You can't just sit there and read, learn the vocabulary. You have to go out and use it. So
exactly.
Either speak to people that speak English in here, either read books or watch movies in their original languages and all.
I came here in 2009. I was doing English better at school than our own language in terms of grades and how well it went, right? I struggled to ask for top up my balance when I went into a local corner shop.
Yeah.
And that just tells you that.
Yeah, no, the school English, it's good because it gives you some sort of basics, but it's not... Like, it's a good example, your mate that lives in Germany, he didn't know German.
Not a single word.
And he came into the country...
Other than ja, nein.
Yeah, verstehen. He came into the country and he started learning some words, and then he just exposed himself to people that spoke German, and he's now fluent.
He speaks good, yeah. But
I don't know, because I don't know German, but...
I think what helped him, it was really good at his craft.
Yeah.
Which is cars.
Yeah.
Which helped him to land a job around cars, engines, motors, whatever. And that was, even though it's mixed, sort of like, what's the word now I'm searching for? Mixed race. So it's not just one nationality.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of workplaces today. But majority of them had to speak German.
Yeah.
His bosses were German-speaking people, so he was exposed to the language, and you had nowhere to go. You had to learn to be able to understand what your boss or whatever is trying to say to you. So, crossed my mind now. We're talking about Lithuanians learning English and speaking English. Fuck, do we know how many Lithuanians actually watching this?
Well, if they commented, we would know. Please write a comment.
It's my destructive thought today that no one gives a fuck.
Well, it doesn't matter. Whoever.
I still enjoy this conversation with you, but it's just it's just one of those days that.
Yeah, no. People who do listen, we really, really, really thank you, appreciate, and we're grateful. Yeah, so shall we wrap this up and go get dinner?
So those few people that listen, if you made it this far, please like it, comment. Christina really likes to engage in the comment section, so give her a chance.
Give me a chance. No, really, comment. Tell us if you're Lithuanian or whatever your nationality is, what your first language is. Let us know. Share
it with a friend or two. So the more
if you found it useful.
If you find useful or you find value in it, share it, subscribe it, show it to your family members. I don't know, those who speak English, those who don't, they might learn of hearing our broken or with accent English language, whatever. So anyway, thank you. Do the bit, share, like, subscribe, and comment, and have a good evening.